Some creators claim that the Neewer Q200 deliver better colors than the Godox AD200s. That's a bold claim. The AD200s have been my go-to portable flash, and I've bought every version of it. The Q200 matches it on power, costs around $100 less, and delivers light that looks surprisingly good. But it's also a lot bulkier and it feels a bit basic. So the question is whether it offers something special enough to make up for that. My name is Jose Alcoy. If you are into off-camera flash, subscribe to my channel and newsletter. I will also leave affiliate links in the description to all products mentioned, which helps the channel at no extra cost to you. To find out, I tested it in two ways. First in a shoot with Brussels-based Marc Alhadeff, and later at home against my AD200 Pro II. Marc is the author of the Sony Alpha blog, where he has reviewed hundreds of lenses. This time he had Neewer's latest flashes on hand, and it felt like the perfect chance to collaborate. So we set up a photoshoot with my friend Juan, the owner of the last video club in town, and I have to say we had a great time. Besides testing the Q200 and a 65-inch umbrella, we also got the chance to test a few other newer products, like the C2 Speedlight with a smaller softbox. I usually prefer bare ball flashes for their wider spread, while the C2's Fresnel head is more directional. Still, the results were solid, and I can see it working in plenty of situations. For this test, we were using Marc's Sony A1, which is very different from my Sony A7C II. It's not easy to remember which products were used for each shot, so I borrowed the Q200 to test at home. On paper, this 200-watt studio flash matches the AD200 Pro II. Same power, HSS up to 18000, and a built-in modeling lamp. Impressive for the price. I tested both lights at home with my daughter and myself, and I also convinced my girlfriend Catherine to pose again for me, using the same settings and light configuration for both. The results were close. The Q200 produced warmer tones, perhaps flattering on my daughter, but a bit yellowish on Catherine and me. The Godox offers more neutral colors. In any case, these things can be easily adjusted in post, and you can get very similar results with either light. Now, regarding the trigger. After using the Godox X3, the Neewer trigger feels like a step back, bulkier and with an old-school design. It works, but it's not flawless. When left unused, the trigger and flashes sometimes stopped communicating, and I had to restart them a couple of times. Neewer has started adapting some of their flashes via firmware to work with Godox triggers, but sadly the Q200 is not included, at least not yet. I really welcome that move, because I think all brands should be working towards universal compatibility, instead of fencing their users into closed systems. But I've seen comments online complaining about communication between Godox and Neewer gear, so it's not a perfect solution. So, could the Q200 replace my AD200 Pro II? For me, the answer is no. Portability is key in my work. And yeah, they weigh about the same, but the AD200 Pro II is flatter, takes up less space in my bag, and in my opinion it's also the more reliable system. That said, the Q200 is a fantastic light, and I can see why some photographers prefer its warmer tones. You get great light quality, plenty of power, and a price point that makes it very tempting. We live in a time where we are spoiled for choice when it comes to lighting, and that's fantastic. All the products I mentioned are in the description. If you are into off-camera flash, check my newsletter there as well. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos. Now check out my video on the AD200 Pro II to see why I chose it as my main light.